And we are just 19 days away from Election Day. Tonight, the Sacramento Mayoral Race is heating up, and a new digital ad is stirring up a lot of controversy between the two candidates. ABC 10's Becca Habegger joins us right now in studio with a growing debate over homelessness and city parks.
Yeah, that's for sure, Alex. You know, the ad addresses a number of topics, including whether one candidate supports putting sanctioned homeless camps in city parks. More voters are hearing about this claim. Politico's California Playbook picked this up. I spoke with the candidates and did some fact checking.
Two candidates are vying to become Sacramento's next mayor. They are public health professional Dr. Flo Kofer and Assemblymember Kevin McCarty, who released a digital ad this week.
Says Flo called for new homeless encampments in our city parks.
So I asked McCarty to clarify.
Well, all throughout this campaign, we've heard this idea of using city parks, underutilized city parks, as homeless locations. I think it's a terrible idea.
McCarty references comments like these from a candidate forum back in February as Kofer speaks in favor of safe ground sites, designated camping areas for the unhoused community with bathrooms and supportive services.
I would prioritize putting safe ground in our underutilized parks. I'm going to emphasize underutilized because we have parks that are not being used that would be great places, and allow me to explain why. Underutilized parks often have water hookups and electricity hookups, which means that we can allow people to actually attend to their basic needs.
I asked Kofer to clarify what she means by underutilized parks.
So I go to a lot of city meetings, and I was at one where they were talking about underutilized parks, which were the empty lots that were one day going to potentially be parks, but right now they were empty lots. So when I was talking about this, I was using the language that I had heard at city meetings about this. So I thought I was providing clarity that these are not your neighborhood parks. These are empty lots that just one day are intended to eventually become parks.
She accuses McCarty of misrepresenting her words to mislead voters.
My opponent is now saying that we're trying to put people into our well-used everyday parks. That's simply not true. But there are empty lots that are listed on our parks list, and they are just that, empty lots.
She did not offer a specific list of those lots.
I don't support any city parks to be utilized for homeless facilities. More importantly, we have other places where they can be. We have abandoned city corporation yards. We have other locations throughout the city. Parks should be off limits.
I asked each candidate their plan to address homelessness.
One of the places we need to improve is coordination. So we have a lot of great people here who are doing important work, but we're not connected, and so we're failing people. We have people going to our emergency rooms or our jails or calls for 911, but not getting connected into long-term services that exist here. So before we add any more money, I want us to look and see how can we better use the dollars we have and partner with one another so we get to real solutions.
I think that we need to enforce the law. We can't have encampments throughout the city of Sacramento. I want to audit our city funding to make sure we're getting our biggest bang for our buck for every dollar we spend. We need to find appropriate places where we can have tiny homes, places people can camp. I think we need to focus on partnering more with the county. The county of Sacramento has 10 times more resources than the city on these issues. And lastly, look at behavioral health. I think certain individuals need to have treatment.
Kevin McCarty's new ad also mentions funding for police. The candidates have differing approaches when it comes to addressing open positions within the police department and the allocation of funds. And you can hear more about that tomorrow. ABC 10, along with Telemundo, took the biggest issues and your questions to both candidates. Watch Sacramento's Future, the Candidates for Mayor, Thursday night at 6 p.m. Also streaming live on ABC 10+.